Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Findependence Canada. This is a channel where I talk about retiring early and my endeavors as a stay-at-home dad. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, be sure to follow along by subscribing and liking the videos, and don't hesitate to drop a comment and let me know what you want to hear from me. So today's topic, I'm going to be getting into what our portfolio looks like in early retirement. And I need to lead off with a disclaimer that it's only me that has currently quit working. My wife is still really enjoying her job. She's on some good projects that she enjoys. She's got at least a few more years left, and she's also building a good pension in the meantime. So it makes a lot of sense for her to keep going while she's having as much quote unquote fun as she's having at work. Um, so this is not financial advice. Like, I'm just giving what we're currently doing. I'm not recommending any particular portfolio to anybody or anything like that. I just wanted to be transparent with what I've decided to do. And even our breakdown in terms of how much money's in each account, I won't say it's completely random, but it also wasn't done on purpose. And you'll see what I mean as I get into it. I'm not going to share dollar values, but I will give you some percentages and just some thoughts behind what we've been doing. So, first off, what we're invested in. We're still very young in terms of, like retirement age and things like that. So, we are really aggressive with our portfolios. We're still pretty much 100% equities. So, like I say, that's not advocating for that portfolio breakdown for everybody. It's what works for us given our current setup and understanding of our portfolio and the fact that we do still have some current income coming in, even though it's not fully enough to sustain our household and we are having to pull from our investments a little bit. Um, what we've chosen for our equities is XEQT for Canadians. So basically, what it is it breaks down across North America, Europe, like a whole world in different denominations. So you get all of that different currency exposure as well as all those different stock markets. It is still heavily weighted towards the US and North America in general, which I do ultimately believe will be the strongest performing market. You may ask, if you believe that, why don't you go into S&P 500? Well, I have no issues at all with going into the S&P 500. In fact, that's what my pension was in prior to me having to pull it. Um, but I still, for how similar the returns are, I guess I don't see a reason to go all in on one country and one currency, even if you do believe that it's the best one most likely moving forward. It's still, why not hedge the bet a little bit was my thought process. So instead, we're getting some exposure to Asia and Europe and Canada, and for myself, just given the timeline and everything, I felt that was the best move to make for us. But yeah, you're not going to get any arguments from me either way on that topic. And then the small portion of, I guess, fixed income or safety blanket is we do have around a year's expenses that are in cash.to. So that's just a high interest savings ETF. And the interest rates are starting to come down on that. So we may look to reallocate those funds, but for the time being, that's where we'll keep that buffer. And that's what we've decided to do is, as I mentioned, we do have income coming in for my wife. So we ended up deciding on, we'll put about a year aside. We do still have, like, obviously some money in our checking account and that I don't include in this. But in terms of our investment portfolio, we decided to keep 1 year of high yield savings accounts, and then the rest is all stocks. So yeah, we're not quite 100% equities, but we're pretty close. Um, in terms of like TFSA, RRSP, we have a Lira non-registered, that kind of stuff. It We didn't intend for it to work out this way, but we are almost equally split amongst those four account types, like the TFSA, RRSP, non-registered, and Lira. And like I say, that was just kind of, I wouldn't even call it luck because it's not necessarily lucky, but it was just random that it finished up that way. That was not our intention. We were not going through allocating equal amounts to each account. We would max out our RSPs, max out our TFSAs, tax returns and things like that, extra income we would put into the non-registered, and then we were automatically contributing to a pension that turned into a Lira. And it just so happened that it all worked out to be equal in the end. So yeah, just a coincidence. Um, One further note I will say on why we've chosen to break down our portfolios like this is so if you've ever followed me on X over the years, I've been on there for quite a long time. I was heavily into individual stock picking with like a good chunk of my portfolio. I did a lot of like Canadian dividend funds and like dividend stocks and some growth. I had, Microsoft and Apple and stuff like that. I was picking individual stocks for a good chunk of this time, and had decent enough returns. I mean, the whole stock market has done well, so it wasn't hard to have some good returns over the years. Um, but one thing I realized, especially once we had kids, was that what if I'm not here anymore? Like, I'm the finance nerd in this relationship, and I'm the one who does the spreadsheets and reads reads up on all the stocks and keeps up on the news and is watching interest rates and stuff like that. And my wife has next to zero interest in doing any of that. She likes investing. She likes taking money and putting it into her investing account and buying shares, but she doesn't necessarily care what it's in. So that's where we got on the same page of, okay, I'm going to make all of these accounts one stock, one ETF. And that's why we chose XEQT. And it's just eliminated any thought process from her. All she has to do is understand which account to pull it from. And I think she has a pretty good grasp on that. And I can, you can leave good directions, I guess, if in the event that I wasn't here, it's pretty straightforward to leave like pull this account first, then this, then this, then this, and like maybe even have somebody that can explain it to her in depth if she needs any further assistance. But she definitely has enough of an understanding to where I'm comfortable now that if I weren't here, she'd be able to manage. And that's a big relief for me that she's not going to have to wonder about individual stocks tanking and if she should get rid of them and what to sell and what to buy and when to sell it. So, yeah, I just really wanted to simplify things for her sake specifically. And I think that we're both happy with the choice we made switching into XEQT. And that decision was probably made like 2 years ago. It's not a decision that we did and implemented right as I retired. It was, it was something we talked about for a while and made sense, and we both felt comfortable with doing. So yeah, that's really all I'll cover on today. Is just the simplicity aspect of our portfolios and why we chose XEQT versus any other fund, as well as all the different account types that we're in. If you have any questions, wanting to dig deeper into drawdown strategy or anything along those lines, please feel free to leave a comment below and ask because, I'm always looking for fresh content to make. And sometimes it's viewer questions that can trigger some of these ideas. So yeah, feel free to get in touch. Let me know what you're thinking. Anyways, thanks for stopping by.